We have one ceiling fan here that's not working, and then another one here that's not working. They both pretty much cut off at the same time, roughly. So hopefully, if they're both not on, we're going to try to either send Vinny into the attic and see where these are going to. They're probably going to one box somewhere, or they could be in the switches right here. So we're going to check that out and see what happens. Okay, we're going to check the panel and make sure before we go in the attic and trace those wires. We looked inside the switches, and there's a bundle in there. We don't know where that's going, but there is a bundle of wires, but they're all hot. So we're going to probably just go up to the attic. Rather than drop the canopy on the fan, then he'd rather go up to the attic and take his tick meter and see if those wires are actually hot going to the fan. That way we know if it's a fan issue or electrical issue. He doesn't like to drop those canopies, so especially getting on people's beds and stuff. So, but before we do that, we wanted to check breakers real quick. Okay, we're all good here. This is good. All right, guys. Okay, guys, we decided to I'm unlocking the door here. Oh, that one too? Okay, got it. We're gonna do this. Then he doesn't want to. The breakers are all good. In the switches where they possibly got their power from, they probably grabbed it from there and ran it up. Everything's hot there. We don't know if it's a malfunction with the remotes for the fans or what, but we don't even know if we have power going to the fan. And Vinny usually drops the canopy on top, and we could take a tick meter and see if we got power at the Romex, and that would solve everything. You know, you see there's either a short or there's no short, and it's a fan issue. And they got caulking all the way around it. So the last thing we want to do is open up a can of worms and have to caulk that canopy back up in the whole 9 yards. So he's going to go in the attic. He's going to go to the fan, each one, take his tick meter, and make sure that there is either no power or power. If there's no power, then he's going to follow the Romex cable to wherever it's going, and maybe there's a junction box up there that somebody put, and they the wire's disconnected. You know what I mean? So the easiest way is for him just to go up there. So that's what we're going to do. I'll let you know what we find. Video, Vinny, you can grab some video with your iPhone. What's going on up there, right? Yeah. Okay. So Vinny will get some video up there explaining what's going on. First thing he's going to do is go up there and check with his tick meter, go into the Romex to the boxes. If they're hot, then we know we got an issue. He's going to check the other one, and then we know we got a fan issue. It could be a remote issue. It could be the batteries are good in the remote. They changed them. The lights are working on the remote. It could be that they need to be what do they call that when you sync them? Sync them. They got to be redone. Where you got to
RC binded.
Yeah, binding. Oh yeah, for RC flying, it's called binding the remote with the. I don't. Anyway, I call it syncing. Paired. There it is. They might need to be paired. All right, we'll see what's going on, guys. Okay, guys. The Romex, the fan's over there, and here's the Romex right here. This is the guy's connection, whoever installed these. All right, guys, I'm up in the attic. This is where the fan should be. Oh. There's your ceiling fan. There's the ceiling fan in the bedroom over there is those two Romexes. If you follow it, it goes to that. Let me see where my stud is first. Okay, sit right there. I'm gonna have to take this apart. It's only a single hit. Okay, he's putting all this back together because we can't get the remote out because the plaster right is all plastered in around it. So they plastered it in to fill the hole and made a really big hole. Anyway, we're gonna go to the other fan. Okay, Vinny's got the second canopy open, and he was able to get to the hot wire and the neutral. We were able to get the other one. We couldn't even get to the wires because they plastered the remote in. So on this one here, we were able to get to it. So we're going to go ahead and test this and see what we got. Guys, we figured it out. Vinny was going through, look at this, keep this in mind right here. All that black shit coming out of there. Vinny was going through the pictures with the tenant. He wanted to see what was up there. Normally we don't share any information with the tenant. We don't even talk to him that much, but he says, please save me a trip. Can you show him going up there? Can you show me? And I didn't want to be an asshole and say, no, go up there if you want to see. I'm not going to do that shit. So Vinny showed him, he was going through it, and he saw the bundle of tape, that wires. So he went back up there, and he opened them up, and the black and the white had touched where they're wrapped together. I don't know if it's was it a crack in the insulation or was it one end pushed into the, I think one end of the wire pushed into the other wire and made its way through, and it blew apart, but it fried the fans. And so Vinny cleaned up those wires, and of course I had his stupid iPhone sitting on a furniture because he had to put on his overalls again. So, and he was way to the back, so I wasn't going to take him his iPhone. I don't get in attics no more. Anyway, but what he did was he cleaned up both wires, repaired them both, and for now we rebundled them safely, but we're going to let him know that we're not going to do the fans unless we're able to take care of all those safety issues. Okay guys, we got one more job to go to. It's in Huntington Beach, something to do with electrical, so we'll see what we get over there. Now the only problem is I might not be able to get any video because this guy is the owner that owns 3 of the buildings that the management company maintains. So the last thing I want to do is pull out a phone. If I can I will, but if I can't, if he leaves us alone, then I'll get some video here and there. But if he doesn't, I can't have him calling the management company, because he has the management company maintains 3 of his buildings that I work on. I've been to all 3 of his buildings, but this is his house. So the last thing I want him to do is complain that I'm taking video at his house to the management companies. Then I won't be able to get away with taking video over there, because it's not always the tenants say so. Yes, it could be the tenant say so, but also the management company can put a stop to all videos at all buildings that they manage. So I don't want that to happen, but I'll try to get some video. If not, this is all I'm going to have. But I may go ahead and just tell you what's going on and try to get a little video when nobody's looking. All right, guys? Okay, guys. When we got here, we didn't even have to go look in the house because we felt the breaker and it was wiggling, and we knew right away that it was going to look something like that. So what we're going to do is get some gloves on Vinny. He's going to pull the broken piece off, and then there's no need to have this GFCI outlet anymore because they have GFCIs in the kitchen and all the bathrooms. So we have something that's compatible with this panel right here. And so we're going to unwire the manufacturer's neutral, and then we're going to put his neutral back on the bus bar, and then put our compatible breaker in here. We have a Eden breaker that's called Eden Classified, and it goes with a bunch of different brands. So anyway, it's the first time using this. I'll show it to you. Okay guys, he's going to glove up because that piece is on. I don't know if you can see it. It's broken part of the breaker is right there hanging on. So we're going to get that piece off and then clean up that bar a little bit if we can. See what happens. Okay.
There you go.
Okay, good job. All right.
Check that one.
Okay, let's go ahead and get that. Now he's going to have to get the manufacturer's common wire off, and then put the house common back on, and then we'll deal with the breaker. And I'll show you this breaker. It's called Eden, and it's called Eden Classified, and it's got a whole chart of what it's compatible with, and that's going to be compatible with this guy. Okay, here's the breaker. We bought a bunch of these, 15s and 20s, but it's UL classified circuit breaker. It's called the Eden, and it's called the classified. And here you can see all the different. We have a chart that we laminated. In fact, I don't have it on the truck. I just laminated it last week. Alicia did, and I haven't put it on the truck yet. But we've got a chart that tells us what breakers this classified unit will work. So it has so many different, as you can see right here. It even replaces the square D home line, which they say nothing can replace it, but it does. But anyway, it does Siemens, Murray, a bunch of different ones. It's nice to have on the truck. It really is. Here's the old one, and it matches up perfect with the one that we have. Alright guys, I'm trying to do it with one hand, but it fits perfect. It's right on the money. And it's made just for this. So, well, this thing covers a lot of different panels. Alright guys, now he's fishing through the house common and putting it back on the bar. And a lot of you guys are going to say, well, why did he take his gloves off? Well, you know, until you've actually been in a box like this and done it yourself, then you'd realize the gloves can get you hurt more than this would. You know, with the gloves you can't feel right, you can't, you know, even see right because they're cumbersome. And next thing you know, you put a hole through the glove on one of those bus bars and you end up getting shocked anyway. So he feels much more comfortable doing it without the gloves than with the gloves. So I'm gonna go ahead and let him do his thing there.
I have a loose ground I'm going to take too.
Okay, so he's got another loose neutral next to it, so he's going to fix that too. Anyway, I'm going to let him do his job getting that neutral on the bus bar there, and we'll go from there. Okay guys, he's got his neutral back on the bus bar, and he tightened up 2 loose neutrals on top of that. And can you lower your head a little bit? There you go. Anyway, he's going to get that done hopefully when we put the breaker on, because the other issue could have been that, yeah, the breaker was burned, but there's something that could have caused it. It could have been a short in the bedroom where the outlets are not working. So if we put it in and we trip it on and everything's good, it was just a bad breaker. If we put a new breaker in and then we turn it on and still it bounces back or it trips immediately, then we know we got a short inside the house. So if there's no short in the house, this will set and everything will go on. If there's a short somewhere in the house, this breaker will trip immediately when you flick it on. So okay, he's got the wire on it, and now he's going to flip it on and see if it pops. It's on. Okay, it's on. So I'm going to go in the house, guys. I can't do any video in there, but I'm going to make sure everything's working. Okay, we're waiting for the guy to answer the door. Vinny's got everything back together. Boy, it's real beautiful here. They're right in a finger for Huntington Beach Harbor. There's no docks outside his house, but it's still beautiful. As you can see, none of them have docks there, but it's still nice to be in one of the fingers. This is a harbor, Huntington Beach Harbor. Anyway. Alright guys, we're out of here. We got everything done. Everything's going good. Boy, this is beautiful here, but just no docks. You know, if I was going to have enough money to live here, I'd at least want a dock for my boat. But they do have kayaks up on land there on their houses. But alright guys, we're done for the weekend. We did 2 jobs. At that other job, man, I'm gonna hear Vinny, let's show them pictures of how they did those ceiling fans. Get your pictures out. These guys that installed those 2 fans cut into a 20 amp 12 gauge wire, and they branched off in 2 different directions, and there was no boxes, no nothing. Vinny's going to share the pictures. This is how they spliced their wires. That's how Vinny found that one burn wire that burned up those fans, because it doesn't take much to burn. It's not that they burn up the fan motor or the light. They burn up that little computer chip. There's a motherboard in there of some sort, and it's real flat. It's only about this big. But when you short it, sometimes the short's big enough to blow that little board out, and now you got a fan that's not working. There's about 5 or 6 splices for that fan work with no
More
boxes and duct
splices.
tape. These are some more splices right here, and
There's
some
one
more
right under
splices
there,
right
one's
there.
right there.
And
This grounds were actually pushing on this white wire too, but
Yeah.
I moved it. You
so
can see this one.
I mean, this is what the
So
guy
that was the
did
only ground with the wire
to
nut.
get
Over here,
the wiring together.
none.
Look at that. Look at that sloppy work, guys. And how many?
Oh, there's more. That was just right
Look,
here.
let me see a few more.
There's one right there,
There's that one.
That's Kate's one.
And
and then there's another one right there.
look at this, guys. About 5 or 6 spliced areas with
They're
no
venting.
boxes. Oh, look at their venting is broke.
Right there. Is
We'll have
broke.
to give them estimates to
There's
fix
the
that
other
too.
splice right there.
Oh,
that we're
there's the
talking
other
about.
splice.
There's another one back there.
Wait a minute, I'm not getting that on video.
there's
Show them the
one right
broken.
there.
Yeah, there's one by the broken vent. Broken vent there. That.
And then back here, there's more.
Yeah, there's about 5 or 6. All right, guys, we're done for the day. We're gonna try to start our weekend off. We're not doing nothing this weekend. We're just Vinny's going flying tomorrow. He fixed his helicopter. Katie and Alicia are at a cheer event today, and we're not far from home. We're about 6 minutes from here. So that's gonna be it, guys. I hope you guys have a good weekend. I'll try to get this posted by tonight or tomorrow morning. Bye, guys. Have a good weekend. Say bye, Vinny. All right, man.